presented by Kendry Draws. Before we begin the webinar, there are some housekeeping items that I'd like to review with everyone. The webinar will be approximately 1 hour long. All attendees will be muted. The Q&A session will be during the last 15 minutes of the webinar. Attendees can ask questions in the GoToWebinar question box right away. Due to time constraints, not all questions will be answered. The webinar will be recorded. The recording will be shared on social media and will be sent via email to all registrants and attendees. Today's panelists are myself, Fahim Niaz, Joanna Brower from Celsius, and Kendry Draws. Before we begin the webinar, for those of you who are joining us for the very first time and would like to know more about Clip Studio Paint, Clip Studio Paint is your all-in-one solution for stunning, ready-to-publish illustrations, comics, manga, and animations. If you'd like to learn more about Clip Studio Paint, please visit us at clipstudio.net/en or at graphicsly.com. And now, Kendry will go through his methodology on using 3D models in Clip Studio Paint, and we will pass the reins of the webinar over to him.
Hello.
Perfect. We can see your screen, Kendry.
Cool. So hey everybody. Thanks for coming, and thanks to everybody that made this possible. Happy to be here. So I'm Kendry, and I'm an illustrator and graphic designer. And I have a YouTube channel where I share like different tutorials about Clip Studio, and especially with 3D models. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be showing you today. Like, you can see here some examples how you can use it. I use it to create characters, design characters, and then you can get even more dynamic poses. It's a character, some like fan art, like some Final Fantasy character, some Street Fighter characters. So you can use it in other ways. There's a few more examples here. So yeah, pretty much I'm gonna be showing you how you can use the 3D models like that. You can see some characters, Chun-Li, Ibuki. These are not my characters. I just wanna make that clear. Just some examples and stuff that you can do. So yeah, I don't wanna spend too much time in the introduction, so I'm gonna go straight into it. Okay, so let's go first with bringing in the 3D models. So you can go here on the side, and you have this material bar, different materials, and you can click anywhere pretty much, and then you can go down to 3D, and then body type and pose. So okay, I'm gonna click on body type, and then I can just bring any character. Well, there's a few different ones. So it's like the male, and there's a female. So you can, if you want to try guys or girls, and there's also the older 3D models, which are pretty cool too. They're a little different. So I feel like the new ones are more like manga style, and the older one is more like traditional, kind of more like human proportions. These are more manga proportions. So yeah, let's say I just have the character. The way you bring it in, you click on it and drag the character to the canvas, and that's pretty much it. You drag the character, and if you want to bring more, you got to make sure it's on the same layer, right? If it's on a different layer, then what happens is like the characters won't move together. So if you want to bring more, you make sure you're in the same layer, and you just drag them there so they move together. But before we go into that, let's just show how you can change the characters. So I can, so it has this bar here on the bottom, and this little square in the corner, that's where you can change the 3D model. And you have the body shape, and you got this little icon here with different body parts, and that's where you can change your character. You click on the arms, you can make it, bigger arms, longer. You can kind of really make it kind of any character you want. Wider shoulders. This kind of like a strong guy. So you can change it. Click on each part and change it to whatever you want. Just drag the sliders. You can have big hands or not. And that's for each individual body part. And if you see this little bar here, you click on it and then it changes. So you change like the overall, the whole body. Like if you want to make a character overweight, bring it to the right, really, really thin. I can change it like that. If you bring it down, it makes it more like a child. More like less muscles. If you go up, then it makes it more adult, so more muscles and things like that. For the girls, it's a little different. It does it. So let's see. For the girls, if you change the body, everything works the same, like skinny, overweight. But if you go up, it changes like the breast size and it makes them more grown up, and then more like a kid if you go down. That's like the only difference of the male and female. So yeah, that's how you can change the characters, the different body types, and it's pretty cool. And one of my favorite things is this, actually, the head to body ratio. So you can change how, what kind of character you have. So, you can make kind of like a cartoony character, maybe make it like 3 heads tall. Click on it, 3. So the head to body ratio, it's a lot different. Or like, they say the ideal human proportion is like 8 heads. So you can just put 8 and then you get the right proportions like right away. So that's pretty cool. If you're designing a character, you don't have to measure too much. It does it for you. So I really like that. Something else too is the height. Like, it's not that necessary, but if you're using more than one character, is good. Let's say I bring another character, and if you have one that is taller, for example, my height, I'm like 172. This is like in centimeters. It doesn't really show in feet, but you can kind of, I guess, make the calculation or Google it. How much is it in centimeters? So say this guy is taller. It's 190. You can see like it will show that difference. So if you're putting characters together, you can make them like the exact size that you want. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. You can change, just experiment, see what you like, all that kind of stuff. So let's see a little bit about these controls. You probably saw me moving the characters and stuff like that. So the way it works is these 3 are, this is the camera. So the first one moves the camera. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so the first one, you can move the camera around the character. So this is like the default, like you don't have to click it. You can just click around the character and it still works. So that's the one I use the most. You're gonna be turning the character. If you want to look from below, from the top, it's pretty good for that. Then you have this one. So let's say the camera's too high. I want to bring it lower. I can just lower the camera or bring it higher. So it's just like up and down, left, right. And then you have this zoom in, zoom out. So you can just click and just hold it, and you can drag down, it zooms in. If you drag up, zooms out. And yeah, it's pretty easy. You just click on what you want to do. You want to move the character or go around. I'm gonna zoom in. Yeah, so that's how you can control the camera pretty quickly. Something else. So the next one is more about moving the character. This is, you can bring the character up and down. For example, you see those lines in the floor. Yeah, that's like that's the ground level. So if a character is flying, you could just drag them up or to the side. You can drag them whatever. That's pretty much how I use it. This one is to spin the character like forward. Pretty simple. This one spins it sideways. But I don't use these two too much. You can change, you can move them in different ways, which I'll show you in a bit. But this one, you kind of don't need it that much. This one I do like is the one that you spin the character. So if you want a character to face another way, you can just turn them that way or facing each other, or this is really good. And the final one is to move the character in space. So if a character is all the way back there, you can bring them closer. So they work the same way. You just hold it and you drag where you want to put it, spin the character. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. That's how you're gonna be moving the character and all of that. This I'll explain a little bit, but first I want to talk about like posing the characters. So posing the characters is pretty simple. Like it may look complicated at first, but it's not too bad. For example, you can click on it and let's say you get this. There's two ways to pose it. So one way is with these circles, and if you want to use a different one, you click on it again and it changes. So here I click on the leg, I can click on the little line and you see that it turns yellow when I hover over it. So make sure it's yellow before you click on it, because if not, you're gonna miss it, right? And then maybe hit something else, and then that's not what you want. But make sure it's yellow, and then you can just click and hold, and you can easily bring the leg up, click on the other body part, do that. And the cool thing is that it moves depending on like how the body actually moves. Like this one, this joint only goes up and down, so you only get that line. So it's not like you're gonna turn it or spin your leg like that, like a weird way. It moves pretty much how the real body moves. So you can kind of move it like that. And you don't have to start like from scratch. What I like to do is kind of use some of the poses that the program brings. You can go to here, entire body, and you have a lot of poses. So let's say I want to have somebody sitting, I can look for something like that. And the way you do it is like you click on the pose, you drag it, and put it on top of the character. So that's how you can add a new pose. So I don't want it to be like this, but it gives me a good start. So let's say I want to cross the legs or something. Click on it, spin the leg, this one, bring it down. Yeah, stuff like that. And there's different ways, different things that you can use for the posing. So this one, this thing here, you go to Windows and all size view. I'm not sure if this is for everything. I know I'm using the EX, so I know the EX has it for sure. Because but I'm not sure if all the other ones have it, but it's this thing that lets you see the character from all the different sides. So I can see here from the right, from the back, from the top, and it makes it easier to pose. You can just click and see how it looks. Say I want, okay, let's say I'm looking at the character from the side, it looks fine, but then when I look from the back, you see, oh, the leg is kind of like going to the side, like maybe I want it to be more straight. You can see that really quickly with that, and kind of just adjust it. And whatever you click, it moves like the whole character. So this is really useful to pose. You can pose a lot faster with this. So you can change it, and you will change it here too. So that's a pretty cool way to pose faster. Something else too that you can use to pose is the pose scan, which is like a new feature. You can go here again to the little square. Most of the things are here. So before it used to be that you had to go through like a lot of menus or here on the side, and you can still do that, but it's better just to click here. Everything's here, the lighting, camera, pose. So I'm gonna go here, pose scanner, and let's say this guy kind of jumping like that. You see, and it's not completely like exact, but it gives you a good start. So you can make it a little better. If the guy's jumping over a fence, you can adjust the hand or whatever you need. So that's a really good way to get started, like posing the characters. So let's talk a little bit about the other way of posing, which is with these circles. So these circles, you can just hold and like drag them, and it's pretty good, but it's not as precise. It's more like for small adjustment. If you want to be more precise, you gotta use the little arrows. So these arrows, this one's for up. So if I want to go up, I just drag this. If I want to go forward, so you have a lot of control like that, like to move. And it's not really about moving the joints. It's more like where do you want this body part to be? Like, okay, I want it to be up here, and things like that. And my favorite part about this is like this one. This is where the character is looking. So if I want the character to look up, you can see the head move, and it looks very like natural, like how looking to the side, looking down. So you can go back and forth and change to just move the joints. So yeah, there I missed it because I didn't hit the yellow. So wait for the yellow, and then you can move the joint. Yeah. So it's pretty. You could go into that and then change it into the circles that move like that. That's pretty cool. That's how you can control the character. And let me just move into something a little different. It's not too different, you know. So let's say you pose a character. Something else you could do is the perspective. So you know how, you know, a big thing about drawing is like the foreshortening and things like that. You can change that with the 3D model. So you can go again here. You can go to manga perspective, and you see how you can exaggerate some things, like coming closer to the camera. You can adjust it as much as you want. It's pretty cool. And another way you can do it is with it. You go to camera, and there's perspective. This is like a regular perspective. This is manga perspective. So this one is more like you have a different lens on the camera. Let's say like a fish eye lens. You can kind of make it really extreme, but you know, you can adjust as much as you want. You want to, you know, make the pose a little more extreme. You can adjust that. And I mean, I suggest not going too high, because then it's too much. So I go around, at most around 15. I think it looks cool. But you can go anywhere around there, and you should get some cool perspective. Yeah, so you can combine both too. So let's say I want to use like the camera like that, and then on top of that, I use the manga perspective. You know, that's probably too much, but you know, I can still add the manga, you know, extreme perspective and stuff. And the manga perspective is interesting because it changes only a few things. Like, see there, like the hand kind of pops, and it's cool. I don't know how it works, but it does give it like that manga look. The, you know, making the hand bigger, it's closer. Yeah, it's pretty good. I really like that. So let me talk about a little bit about these controls in the bottom now. This one is it's just that, like all the, it's pretty much this thing. So it's like in two places. I don't know. Well, it's not the same. This is like specifically like the object list. So if you have more characters, they will all show up there. But you can still find out here, which you know, so pretty much you don't need that much. This one is for different cameras. So I said preset camera angle. So I'm gonna say delete this one. I bring a new character. So this one is like a preset camera, and then okay, you see there, it's just a front view. If I want to look from the side, it will be that. You can, depending how you want it, you know, this is a good way to get some, you know, different angles like right away. You don't have to move the camera too much. It's already preset, so you can go straight to what you want. Like, okay, close up, 3/4, maybe from the front, or maybe a little bit from the top. So these are pretty cool. I like you can quickly go to the camera angle that you want. This one is kind of just resets on the, well, it resets, for example, if you have the camera here, you click on it and it kind of brings you more to the middle, so you can see the whole thing. And you know how you can go up I can drag this character up. It's kind of flying. This one will drop it to the ground. So see it goes down. So that's pretty cool. Sometimes the character is flying a little bit. You don't want that. You can go down. This one is for saving. So let's say you make a cool pose. I have this pose and you want to save it. You can go here, save material. You can give it a name like pose, whatever, test. And then you go here to save it, go to 3D model. You can save it anywhere, but I always like to save it, where it's supposed to be so you can find it easier. So you'll find it here. Where is here? Yeah, I see post test. So I can just add that to say this character. See, so once you make a pose, you can use it and adjust it. Like maybe you want it a little different this time, or it's pretty good for that. You can save your own poses and reuse them as much as you want. Something else is this thing, the mirror. This is kind of like a mirror. You flip the character, so let's say I'm gonna hit it. See how before this one, like the left hand is in front, and then if I flip it, now the right hand is in front. Like you can change like the pose like to be the opposite of what it's doing. So that's pretty cool. If you want to, something to look different, let's say I want to add another character. And let's say this girl pose test. Right, it's the same pose, but then I can mirror it, so they're gonna be, doing like the opposite pose of each other. So it's like the same pose, you just, you can make it look really different like that. This one is to reset. You just reset the pose. This one resets. We got what? The scale, in case the character is bigger and stuff like that. You can bring it back to normal. And this one, if you rotate the character, I think it is, yeah, you can reset that. This one is to save the body type. So if you have your character, say this character, you can go here and save it. So you don't have to make the character every time. So you can say, you can give it a name, like oh, girl or something. Girl test. I don't know, some random name. And then you save it to body type, right? So you can save it there, and it will be right there. So when you pick the character, now you can just bring this one. It will be ready. So you can design different characters and you have them ready. And you can use them whenever. This one is the pose scanner, which is also here. It's pretty much the same thing I did before. So you can scan a pose from a picture. And this one, it's more for like some other 3D stuff. It doesn't do anything for these characters. Yeah, so that's how you can use those at the bottom part. Something else that I like is the lighting. So let's use this one. Zoom in. So you see you can move the character, the light. Okay, this is the old way to do it. Like the new way, I like it better. But you could go to light source and move it here, and or you can go to allocate and you have the light there. Move it. So let's say I have this light source, and this is a second one, but you can't see it. You have to go here to allocate and then turn it on so you can see it. So if you want to have like two different light sources, like one in the front, one in the back, you can do it like that. And you can even change the color to, I guess, you get a better idea where the light is hitting. So you can say, oh, the main light is here, and then like the back light is hitting here. So you can use that as a reference when you're, drawing. So yeah, it's pretty useful. Like for example, some of these that like I use the lighting from the 3D model like to get a better idea. See here, the lighting on the side. It will help you play the shadows better and, and kind of experiment, see if something is something that you want, see what kind of lighting looks better. So I really like that you can experiment, see different lights. Yeah, so that's pretty much the controls and stuff like that, how to bring the characters. And then I guess I'll show you a few different like ways to sketch. Like I like to, let's say I have this character, right? I can just, I lower the opacity and then in a different layer, I start drawing and sketching. So the way I like to sketch is not to go like slow, like try to trace it. It's more like how you sketch, like really quickly. Like don't worry about making it exact. It's just like a quick line. I just kind of use it to know where things go, right? Like the main points, like the collarbone, and like you say, the hand to be here, the arm here, and things like that. So, and for example, for the legs, I don't go like, little by little. I just try to do like the whole leg, like, oh, okay, the leg's going this way really quick. So use it in a like sketchy way, like really quick lines and like exaggerate a little bit. And that's how you can get better. I mean, it will look better because if you go like slower, it will look really stiff and it won't look that good. Let me do a little different one. Say, I'm gonna go, say, do this one. So till they have, let's say I want to design a character kind of like that, like from the front. I like to use the character. I make it like lower the opacity, and then I bring this to the symmetrical ruler, and you can see there. So I put it in the middle, so whatever I draw is gonna be mirror on both sides. So I kind of just draw like half of the character, make it like it will make it it will complete the other side for me. So I can design like armor and stuff like that, whatever outfit you want. So some tips are pretty much don't draw like too close to the character. Like for example, if we're in armor, the armor is not gonna be like sticking to the character that close. you gotta draw it like a little outside. It's on top of the character, and it's a little thicker, and kind of give it like a little volume like that. Like don't put it too close to the character. So you can just put it like that, and again, like do it really quickly. Like this is still like the sketch, right? You sketching, like don't worry about making like a perfect line. You fix that later. So it's pretty good. You got the proportion figured out for you. You don't have to think too much about that. So if you're designing a character, you can do that. And you can always change, like if you want like a cartoony character, you can go here and change the head to body ratio, that kind of thing. So this is really, really good for that, like designing characters. And see how quick you can just go and draw characters. Yeah, like well, I guess I'll show you some examples. I already showed you, but this one, so I just went doing the same thing, using the mirror, and then you just pretty much draw whatever like that. Another thing is this one that I like a lot is more like for drawing like the silhouette of the character. I'm gonna go and say the same character. I'm gonna put it there like sideways. So what you can do is you can hold Command and click on it. So select the whole area, and then you can kind of in a different layer paste the silhouette. So you got the character, like the shape of the character, and you can just start like throwing things to, character has hair, he's wearing some weird armor. You start adding random things, and then you can design different characters like that. Like your brain kind of will wanna fill in the blanks, and then you can kind of sketch over it, and say, oh, the hair is here, and different things like that. So you can use the 3D models like that. And you can see some of that here. Like I just went, copy the silhouette, added a few extra, just random shapes, and then you can kind of draw something, some line art after that, and make it easier. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing. I mean, I want to draw a little bit of this character now. So the thing is like, is that like good to, how do I say? This is only like the guidelines. Like you won't have all the guidelines. So you see, you can barely see where the eyes go. You have to kind of like do that yourself. So you have to kind of just pretend you're like sketching and use only the landmarks that it gives you, and you have to, I guess, add your own style. For example, like the eyebrows, I want to make it a little bigger, like higher. And so I pretty much go like that, really messy at first, and then on a different layer, I will go and kind of ignore the 3D model and then start drawing here. Like, okay, now I have eyes and things like that. Yeah, so that's I think that's gonna be most of it though. Um, I don't know what else to say. I think that's gonna be the whole presentation, and I can answer some questions. Um, you guys can let me know. Maybe I can explain some things better, or if you want to see some sketching, let me know.
All right, thank you very much. We have a few questions for you um,
Cool.
for specific things which I would like to which I would like you to show again. So let's
Okay.
start with something easy. Could you show again how you get to the 4-view window
Oh, okay.
to look at
Uh,
the 3D models?
yeah. So for that you can go to Window, and then you go down. It says All Sides View. You just click on that, and it will show you the different characters. Well, it's the same character in different points of view. Um,
Okay, good. I think this is something where a lot of people were like, where does this come from? Um, So
uh,
you showed the pose scanner a little bit, which is still a technology preview. Can you
oh
show
yeah.
again with the pose how you did that, like your specific settings for that?
Oh, it's just like the basic settings. I don't know if you can change the settings for it. But let's say I have this character, and I just go to pose, pose scanner. It's there. Uh, and shows this thing here, and then you can choose a pose, and I choose the same one. So you can see is this guy kind of jumping over something. Just click it, and it takes. I don't know how it works. It kind of it says you need to be connected online, and does something, and pretty much scans the photo, and it tries to match it to with the 3D model. So uh, it's not like a complete exact copy, but it's pretty close. So then you can
Yeah,
adjust it and things like that.
it's currently a technology preview because it uses like AI and deep learning from our server. So you need to have an online connection to make use of this feature. Just so you know.
Yeah.
um, Wonderful. I think this is something that's probably really interesting for a lot of people. Um, you showed before how you create the silhouette for the character with the black and then add additional parts. Could you show
Oh
that
yeah.
again? How you made the
Yeah.
selection?
So the way I did it, I just hold. Well, I'm working on a Mac, so I hold Command and then click here uh, on the character on the layer. Click there, and it selects the whole. You can see this little line is everything selected. So then in a new layer, I just like fill with black. So you got like the shape of the character. And then I just go with a lasso tool or something like that.
Hmm.
Just put hair or you know anything like that. I just throw some shapes, and if it looks good, then I can use it and stuff like
Yeah. Okay. We had a special request if you could show how to create a chibi character in the 3D model
that.
settings.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the Chibi character, uh, is pretty much here where you can change the character and stuff like that. Um, I like to make it like a kid, like lower this. You can make it more like an adult or like a kid. I would just put it all the way down so you don't show too much muscles and stuff like that. And then the head to body ratio it's pretty much two, like a really big head. Um, so no, that's how you can do it, and then you can add a pose. Let's say, um, I'm gonna put maybe this one, something like that. So you can have like a chibi character. Um, yeah, and then it will be like sketching over it. Like, okay, something else about the chibi characters, like the head, after you have the pose or like the character, the eyes usually are like lower. Like I like to, if I don't use this line when if I make a chibi character, I use one like more in between the nose and the eyes. So I kind of ignore this line and make a line here because that's kind of where I put the eyes. So I put the eyes around there. Um, and the head, yes, the head's so big that you want to make it more cartoony and stuff. Like the eyebrows I put around here. So something like that. That's
Mm.
yeah.
Do you usually save your the characters you created? And if so,
Um,
how would you do that?
the characters, I used to save them. Uh, well, I had a different computer, so when I changed, I didn't bring them uh, to this one. But I used to have a lot like here, like you see, like this one. Um, so the way you can save it is, let's say I have this chibi character now.
Yes.
Uh, I can save it. I can go here. No, sorry. Here. Uh, and let's say chibi. So, and then I'm gonna save it to the 3D body type. So it's gotta be there. Now when I go to pick the body type, I'm gonna delete this one. When I'm gonna go to the body type, you see that, chibi, and then you have the other ones, the regular ones. So if I just delete this one, I can bring like a normal character and then maybe like a chibi character. Um, and I can change let's say, make them really short. Yeah, so you can have like a chibi character like that kind of. Where is it? Yeah, so pretty much it will be here after
Hmm.
you save it. Yeah, it will be. You just bring it whenever you need it.
Okay. And then we have the complete opposite. Can you create like a really muscular character?
Yeah. Let's see. Actually,
Those were
for
the two
that,
requests. A chibi character and someone really muscly.
yeah, for that, I actually like the models from before.
Hmm.
This one. I'm gonna bring in a different layer. I like this one better. Like some, I don't know why, but it has like more muscles. So you can do the same thing. You can go to the body and then like, bring the muscles off, like kind of extreme. Uh, you can make the arms bigger. I mean, this is kind of too extreme. Um, yeah, yeah, this guy's arms. Yeah, that's a lot. So, um, yeah, you can make it pretty big. And then you can have the body proportions, change it too. So yeah, it's kind of extreme, but yeah, I like this one. It shows like a lot more of the muscles.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. Um, Yes. So lastly, do you have any like final tips for people who use the 3D models for drawing?
Yeah, it just okay, I think it's really fast, but at first it might be slow, like because nobody, you're not gonna be used to it at first, so it might look slow, but uh, I would say stick to it and draw like with quick lines and long lines. Like don't draw like trying to match each thing. You try to just get like the like the gesture drawings. So it just kind of, if the legs going that way like that, just do like the whole line. Like here, do like a curve, kind of exaggerate the curve. Um, that's pretty much what I would say, like exaggerate and try to, after you sketch it, let's say I'm gonna sketch this character like really quickly. I like to sometimes delete not delete, just hide the 3D model, and that way I can get like a better, more like natural look, because I will be just focusing on my own sketch, not a 3D model. So yeah, I guess the tip would be to do it more like sketchy, like faster lines, like don't go too slow, because it's gonna look a little, not that good. It's gonna look a little weird if you go slow.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I think that's all for the questions for today.
All right, cool.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I wanted to thank Kendry for taking the time to present all of his findings related to using 3D models and creating characters inside of Clip Studio Paint. If you'd like to see the webinar, we'll be posting it on Celsius Web as well as Graphicsly on YouTube. So please check us out there. As previously mentioned, we'll also be emailing registrants and attendees with a copy of the webinar. For more information about Kendry and what he's up to, please make sure to follow him on all of his social media below, as you can see. I'm sure he'll be able to answer some more questions and provide some more details related to using 3D models in Clip Studio Paint for your characters. With that, thank you so much, Kendry, and thank you to the audience.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you for having me.
Bye-bye. Take care.
All right.